All right, and we are live now. Hello, everyone. My name is Elisa. Thank you so much for joining this webinar today. So today we're going to talk about insider secrets to stand out in Ivy League applications. And we have an amazing guest speaker whom I will introduce a bit later today. Thank you so much that you decided to spend some time with us today, Saturday evening. Probably you had another plans. So thank you so much for joining today. As I said, my name is Elisa. I'm head of marketing at Indigo Research. Indigo Research is a premier provider of academic research mentorship for high school students like you. I hope today we have a lot of high school students, maybe their parents. Anyhow, welcome. So I've always been fascinated by the idea of opening the world to high school students through education. And I'm really glad that today I have an ability to share with you these insights and share with you how you can stress in your college application, how you can stress in your portfolio, and what kind of projects you can add to your portfolio in order to boost your chances to get into top schools. We have an amazing guest speaker today. Her name is Camilla. Camilla is an ex-Indigo student, and she not only published her book on Amazon, but she also got accepted to top universities like Cornell, UPenn, Imperial, Berkeley, and other top universities. And today she will share her story. I must say that we are very proud of Camilla's story and Camilla's case. And I'm really glad that today she has a chance to share this with you. But before we go on, so let me tell you some technical details. So our webinar will last for about an hour, and I will be very glad if you will ask any questions that you have about applications, about research. Maybe you will have questions directly to Camilla. I hope so. So don't be shy to ask your questions. In order to ask questions, you can use this Q&A section. And also you can anytime ask your questions, maybe in the chat, introduce each other. So we will have this kind of, dialogue between us and you, of course. So before we proceed, so there is some time for a poll. We are really curious where you're going to apply to. It will help us to shape this webinar in a way that is most relevant and useful for you. So if you can share where you're going to apply, either UK or US, maybe Europe or Australia, that will be very, very helpful for us. So yeah, I will just launch a poll on the screen. So let me just share it right now. All right, so yeah, right now you can, I think you will be able to see the poll on the screen. So don't be shy to share with us where you're going to apply this or maybe next year. And if you can introduce yourself in the chat, that also will be very, very helpful. For example, I'm based in Barcelona, in Spain. If anyone here also from Spain, let me know. All right, I see a lot of people who are interested in applying to US and Canada. Nice. UK is the second choice. All right, Europe. Nice. So we have a lot of interest today. Thank you so much for sharing. Hey, oh, I see Luisa from Brazil, Damla from Turkey. Hi, Damla. I actually lived in Turkey for a year, so it's very, very nice to see someone from Turkey. Oh, another one from Turkey, Guatemala, Nepal, Pakistan. Wow, we have a lot of countries here today. Nice. Hello, everyone. Oh, from Armenia, from Brazil, Ukraine. Wow. I feel like I'm, naming countries during the Eurovision. Great. So, all right. Camilla, I think I am ready to pass over to you in a bit. And before we move on to your part of the presentation, so let me briefly talk about the agenda today. So first of all, Camilla will share her story. So she will share with us how was her research journey, like how she was applying to different universities and what was the secret to her successful applications. Then I will tell you more about the research experience and how it can boost your college applications. And of course, I'll tell you more about the research experience itself, like what are the steps for a successful research experience. Of course, we will share with you how Indigo Research can support you on this journey, and we will have some time for a Q&A section. So, Camilla, if you're ready, I'm ready to pass over to you.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
So I'm not able to activate my video.
Oh, let me see what's wrong. Just a second. All right. I think now you will be able to share your video.
Yeah, here
Yay!
I have. You see me?
Fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
really good. Good morning or good evening or good afternoon, everyone from all around the world. I'm really excited of meeting you today. So hi, my name is Camilla, as probably you already know. I'm based in Italy currently. I'm from Verona, from the northern part of Italy, in the city of Romeo and Juliet, and that's me. Here you can see all the pictures of myself. Recently, I went to United States, so 1 week ago, basically, to visit some universities which in which I was interested, of course, for my to go, especially as college. And here in the first page of my presentation, I wrote basically, and I pasted the first lines of my common app personal essay. In this one, and especially in the personal essay, just the first suggestion I'm gonna share with you is to be extremely yourself in every situation and in every possible way. And I am a so excited girl right now, especially going to universities, going to college, and especially completely changing my life. And I'm a big dreamer, as you can see in the caption here, because it has always been my dream to study abroad, but at the same time to study US and UK, because I did both applications for UK and US, basically to study abroad. My main goal, in fact, was to and is to heal the world. Yes, that's not really humble, but at the same time, this is what I like to do. Studying, researching, writing, that's my goal in life. But at the same time, I have several also activities and several also ideas. I'm the daughter of the American dream. I'm the daughter of someone who's going to change the world, but at the same time to help other people. So if we can change also the next slide, we're able to see bio. Basically, I'm a daughter of two. Both my dad and my mom study economics at school at university, and my brother is now studying journalism here in Italy. So basically, I'm a first year student. In the meaning of first year, going to an abroad university, it's a foreign university, and especially so far. And initially, I didn't know what to do. So the first years, especially attending middle school and attending the first 2 years of high school, I thought that I would have studied economics. I would have studied especially something linked with math. I really like math. I have a really mathematical mind, but at the same time, especially during COVID-19, I had something this call, this sort of vocation inside myself, calling myself to do something more, to do something different. I've always liked studying, reading, looking for something else, looking for the infinity, and I was really motivated by the curiosity, by the interest in something that hasn't been discovered yet. So in all the pages of books, there were always sometimes these sentences saying, a core is not yet discovered. It hasn't been discovered yet. I was like, no, this can be possible. So, especially during COVID-19, while we were all forced to attend high school, I was attending a high school in an online form. Online, there was a genetic a genetics meeting, a genetic lesson, and especially that in that time, I recognized that my real passion was genetics, was biology, especially the world of cancer, the world of diseases, and at the same time applying genetics to public health. So the importance of races, the importance of applying medicine for all people all around the world as you are today. And this is why basically I ended up choosing my major, my intent like major, so the part of biology, of microbiology and genetics. And what I wanted to do, also like to do that, was to write a book. And how is it possible to write a book while you are 17, 18 years old? That's almost impossible. And that, and in this like situation, I came up like choosing Indigo and same time also Crimson Education helping me in this journey. In fact, I had a deep and I have a really good team, as we can see in the next slide. Basically, oh yeah. So firstly, I would like to say you this is a more an introduction of after the main introduction of myself. I want to underline this that after my call, like during COVID-19, I think that all of you from all around the world and everyone is excited of something, but at the same time, everything starts with a call. So when you are figuring out what to do in the future and especially what you are going to do, which are your plans and so on, everything starts with a vocation. I tend to call it as a vocation, that I was like called to do something else, to attend top universities, but at the same time to study hard and at the same time to help the world. So it is more than just a subject, as I said, like it felt like a calling to make a significant impact in this world, but at the same time to help people. So usually also if you are going like to study any kind of subject from history, so from humanities to STEM in any way, I think that the main thing that lets you success, so the main pathway to success, I think, is following your vocation, following your dream, following what you have inside you, like following your goals, because no one can take you away, can take you away from your dream. So I think that a goal is the best thing, and especially if you like physics, because you want to change something, especially in that world, do that, because this is a word, but at the same time, there are there are a lot of infinity parts and same time finite parts, and same time where a lot of people, but also we must like try also to help each other because we are never alone. So the important of is following our heart, but at the same time our interest to do good. Here you can see an image of myself. I was in a research lab at Methodist in Houston, Texas, and I got like this really good internships there also with Rice University and with Methodist as well, working on cancer. So probably some people could say, but are you crazy to like really to work on cancer? It's not really a great topic. It isn't, but at the same time it is my core. It is my vocation, like doing something good for others. But to do so, I had a really good team. So firstly, of course, with the big dreams, we can find a big help. You need it because in Italy, also like in my country, but probably in a lot of countries, there's like this main problems that universities or Italy, all like the school system is not as the US or the UK one. So you aren't open to several perspectives. Usually in Italy, you should attend high school and then go to an Italian university, passing some like exams so you can access these universities. So this is what I basically did also last year to have a plan B. Of course, to if my plan A want to go well. But instead, when you have so big dreams, you need to be helped. And this is what I did basically, because I wanted to study abroad, but I didn't have the means in order to do so. And so it was helped really by Crimson Education, by fantastic tutors in any in all procedures. So starting from the strategies, starting from essays, ECLs, they really opened me a new world because I wasn't aware of it. Completely not. In Italy, it's more academically focused, so you need to pass an exam, and after you can go to that university. Instead, when you are talking about UK and also US, it is completely different because you need to do ACT, you need to pass some tests or not. You need to do 1,000 of ECLs, 1,000 of essays, so it's completely different. And also, I was really helped by Indigo Research thanks to the publication of my book, because I wanted also to write a paper. I wanted to write something about my interests, and what I did was basically to find a really good program and a really good platform that was able to help me in this other dream that I had. Also helping me with my academic background, with applications, consultations, and everything. But of course, Indigo was a part of my ECL, so about my extracurriculars, and it was fundamental, probably one of the top of my extracurricular also activities, like doing publishing research and publishing books as well. So which was basically the team. So we can see in the next slide that the team was mainly formed by several people. So the first part is Jonathan Felix. Jonathan Felix was my main teacher, sent by Indigo. Jonathan is a graduate student, basically now doing a PhD in immunology. He is extremely great. We really shared our perspective. We were like best friends, although we've never met each other physically, but only online, of course, because he is based in LA, actually. Instead, I'm based here in Italy. But he always followed me. He attended UC San Diego, then he moved to KDI, which is a specific research organization, and he helped me writing my book. It was amazing because initially I thought that we could use our hard work, like writing a paper and trying to post something in a really good journal. But I usually tend to write a lot, and at the same time, when you ask me something, I usually do 3 times that something. So the first week, I remember I wrote around 30 pages. It was like, no, I can't really take 30 pages. So we tried to connect every time. We worked asynchronously also to fix, also to correct my tests, and I ended up writing 270 pages, so 90 pages in Google Doc. And it really helped me talking about caption, talking about pages, chapters, also having a fluent line in my thoughts, because I usually have too many thoughts, too many ideas, and it really helped me creating a linear structure. Then I was really helped by Crimson Education, because Crimson opened me all the perspective of universities, which universities to apply, which essays to write, and my plan A was to apply to all the top universities. Probably some people could say as one of the main plan of Crimson is to tell you, of course, to apply to 2 top universities and 2 safety and 1 really comfort zone like university. Instead, I was like, no, my plan A is to apply only to top universities. If this plan won't go in a really good way, also in Italy there were really fabulous universities, but this was my goal, and Crimson helped me to do so, especially because I was helped in Crimson in 5 universities for US and 5 universities for UK, but I applied for more than 5 universities. So I used also the Common App and basically basically applied to 20 universities in total in US and 5 in UK, because as an international student it's really difficult to be admitted in the top US and UK universities. So I tried also to open all possible perspectives. After that, there is of course Indigo Research. So thanks to them, I was able to write and to publish a book on Amazon, and currently also my book is under the publication on under the publication of an Italian editor, which is Mondadori. I don't know if you have ever heard of it, but it's a really good editor here in Italy and a publisher. And of course, thanks to Indigo, I was able to develop thousands of new skills, especially research funding, new research publications, reading thousands of books, but at the same time, reading and finding the good and important quotes and important info there. And also the thousands of tutors, not really thousands. I got several tutors for essays, for extracurricular activities, for tasks, for applications, and for interviews. As I mentioned, the pathway to reach the admissions, to reach admissions, and also to do applications is really difficult, but at the same time engaging pathway, and you need to find help in every possible situations for essays, for ECLs, because each university wants you to connect in a completely unique way. So each university is looking for a special guy, a special girl, a special student, and at the same time they want you to share them your heart completely, share them that university is your top choice, however, whenever, and so on. And after that, changes light, we're able to see which were my experience also, and why and how I had my research, my paper, my book. So Jonathan also helped me in the publication process. So of course, when we talk about Amazon, it's not really easy to publish it, because after 1 month, my book was published, because firstly, it must be reviewed and so on. So basically, you can buy it right now. I had the images, I write it, of course, my bibliography, and firstly, I decided to edit the main cover of my book. So the genetics of races is a title that has always it has always been in my mind. I don't know why, but because I read several books about the concept of genetics applied to several diseases around the world. Because the first part of the book is mainly historical, so saying how many times science was wrong, in saying that basically races exist, although it is not right. This was not right. So this is the main focus and goal of my book, is showing that races don't exist genetically and biologically speaking, because our DNA is 99.9% equal and exactly the same all around the world. What changes are the acetate bases now are how they are interlinked each other. So because of the weather, because of external factors that you will be able to read in my book. And then the third part of the book is mainly focused on my passion, which are the diseases, cancers, epidemics all around the world, and why they are caused by specific, maybe mutations that can be interlinked with weather, climate factors in different parts of the world. Sorry. And so where I included my book, I include my book in several parts, of course in the activity list, because when you will be writing and when you'll be completing and filling your Common App, you will need to fulfill 10, also less, but it's recommended, of course, to fulfill all spaces in the activity list. And so I wrote about my book, about my experience. I shared my experience also in some supplementary essays that each university requires different essays. So this is really important, how and what really shaped you as a person, but also as a student. I for several times I wrote about this book, I wrote about this experience, and then also in the UCAS personal essay. UCAS is a platform for UK universities, and in my personal essay I mentioned, of course, the important pathway in writing this book, and especially how I find out the right info, and at the same time, how I basically I was able to let my idea become true, and especially let my dreams, let my publication, let my ideas, let my interests become reality. And of course, the importance of this is fundamental for me, as I'm going like to dive into a world of research, a world of medicine, and it has been, of course, fundamental. Of course, I've learned a lot, but at the same time, also I've learned a lot about the world, not only about books and about research stuff and so on. So in the next slide, you are able to see practical examples of where I included my application where I included my book in my application. So you can find the journalist publication. This is a part of the Common App. So basically, I worked for we can say 6 months on this. Yes, 10 hours a week. In fact, we can say that my idea of publishing a book came up on March of the last year, like April, and I usually start as a rocket, going after. Usually as a rocket, I must answer I must fulfill my ideas and my goals. So immediately I started writing, started researching, and so on. And the publication was in November. And in the meantime, a lot of things came up. So I needed to, of course, write thousands of essays at the same time. The Common App, the UC applications, and also I was attending Harvard Summer School. So studying for credit grades, for credit exams, APs, so a lot of things. But at the same time, I was able, thanks to the help of Jonathan as well and Indigo, to publish a book and to write, to read, and at the same time to find the right info. You can find also here, so this is the journalist part and publication, here the Common App, then one of the ECLs, though this is a part of the UC application. So if you are going to apply to Berkeley, UCLA, Santa Barbara, Santiago, it's gonna be like this. And this is that the last one is the additional info. So in the Common App and also in UC application and also in UCAS, there's a part and you can add some info about something else of yourself that you haven't shared yet in all your application. And I wanted to underline the main topics covered in my book and in my research. So as you can see, and as I've mentioned before about all the flowing concepts, all the flowing topics, so from the importance, of course, of the past, but at the same time the mistakes made there, and from nowadays, so nowadays genetics, nowadays history, nowadays science, and talking about then diseases. Then next slide. I'm talking about basically my research experience and my future. So here you can see myself. I was at UPenn University, but I will say that which is my spirit. So for the future, what I'm gonna do. So I've committed not to Johnson. I have committed not to UPenn finally, I must confess, but I was really excited. I'm really excited because a lot of universities offer me several places, also talking about different programs and different programs, for example, Rice, for example, Johns Hopkins, for example, Penn, Cornell, Berkeley. A lot of universities offer me a lot of interesting also research experiences, or the Benjamin Franklin program, so which is really important. For example, I want to share this with you. UPenn was and is one of my top choices for to go to university, and offer me fantastic places in Benjamin Franklin program. And because they were astonished by the fact that I was able really to not only write a book, but at the same time to complete a research in several topics, starting from humanities to STEM, because my book basically includes the history of science and science as well. And at the same time, attending my high school, which is an high school focused on humanities, especially ancient Greek and Latin as well. Here in Italy, they are really focused on classic culture. And also my high school has an added program in math and in STEM. So I was able like to do a lot of stuff all together. And the Benjamin Franklin program is a program especially dedicated to expanding your knowledge in all ways. So finding some and especially attending some classes in all fields from policy to economics. And so I wanted to share with you this because it's a wonderful experience. And looking ahead, so my research is profiling influence, so my future plans. As I mentioned, I haven't committed to Penn finally. I've decided to commit it to Johns Hopkins, although I'm waiting for my final answer, my final waitlist answers. So I wanted to share this with you because thanks to Indigo, was able to understand what I really wanted to do. So helping the world, but at the same time helping the world, changing and researching for it. So for the good, healing people, finding cures for cancers. But at the same time, if you are passionate about politics, it means like healing the world from poverty, healing the world in any situation, in any subject. In any subject there is a specific part and a specific way to heal the world, to help the world, to change it in a better way. And so this is like the vocation the vocation that I mentioned before. So like my main sentence is remember always to be yourself in your essays, in your extracurriculars, in your life. You must be yourself because universities, but also everyone who is around you wants to see you happy, but at the same time wants to see you as you are. Not you don't need to pretend to be someone different while applying to universities because they don't really care about this. They instead care about who you really are. And Andy also and Jonathan and Crimson and all my tutors helped me to understand that I was so sometimes too much. Sometimes I did too much. Sometimes I wasn't really able to sleep, and they helped me to say no, you must do so. And at the same time, they helped me to control this like profound rocket that I have inside of me, like always having thousands of ideas. So what really Jonathan helped me to do was to create a fluent line in my thoughts. So this was fundamental for me. And the next slide, I wanted to share just about like myself like as a person. So I'm not only a study person. I am, as you can see here, was in Johns Hopkins. This is a Diga statue. I really love art. And also I'm a competitive horse rider, so you can see I'm a crazy person inside. So I jump with horses, so probably you can understand that I'm really crazy. So today I was competing this morning. Unfortunately, I did some mistakes, and because everyone isn't perfect, and this is something that I realized thanks to horse riding, and because I have this really deep problem of like finding the best, like finding always like perfection, so on. But really, horse riding helped me to come and to see myself as a person and not as a machine. Sometimes I want always to share this with like students that I meet. It's important to follow your interest and research, but especially to remember always in your application part, like here's and every day that you aren't a machine, you aren't a robot, you are a person. And as a person, you have feelings, and as a person also you must do what you want to do, not what others want you to do. And so remember always that of course my pathway has been incredible. I mean, like looking ahead, I usually think about my life as a book. So if I turn on the pages of my book, if I change all the pages, if I like switch pages, or if I look back, I I'm not able to think about it. I usually say, "Oh, I was really crazy. I was really like filled with things to do." But at the same time, now I'm glad. I'm really happy that I spent my time there. I spent my time fulfilling my dreams, and now my dreams are true. So, last but not least, in my final slide, I want to share with you a quote that my dad told me, and this is the quote that I usually that I always take with myself. So that a dreamer is a winner who never gives up. So if you are all dreamers, and you will be a winner, however, in any situation, because you won't be able and you won't give up. Because of course, as an international student, the percentages of getting into the top universities, because I applied only to the top, I was saying, okay, or this or this. That's like my my mind, and I was like, okay, if we're gonna do, if this is going like to happen, it means that my dreams can become true, and Indigo Crimson have gonna help me to do so. And I really want to thank them. I really want to thank all of you now to attend. Of course, I really want to thank you that, of course, you've listened to me, you've heard. I hope that you've thought something, and thank you very much. I really want to say that a dreamer, as all of you are, is a winner in any situation. I'm a winner today. You will be winners. You will be winner. You will be winners in any situation, in any possible like pathway and journey in your life, if you have believed in your dreams and in yourself.
Thank you so much, Camilla. It is really, really inspiring story. I was listening to you, like, even though I know your story, I'm still very fascinated by it. And you mentioned that you look at your life like a book. So let's say if you would name a chapter of this book right now, how would you call it, this chapter?
Um, this is a really hard question. I mean, I think that I'm gonna call like this chapter that I've just concluded, that I'm going like, so the chapter before, so the one I've just concluded with Crimson Indigo, but that it's not concluded. I mean, I'm always here, I'm always acting for Crimson, so on, like always here. I think that I'm gonna say I'm gonna call it the unexpected the hmm yeah, the unexpected dream, like the, because it was a dream, but at the same time I didn't really realize initially that it was my dream. It was like, okay, it was like trying to do, so trying to
Mm.
do, to play in a different championship, like, no, I would call it play in a different championship. Yes, because my dad, we were skiing. This is like an interesting like anecdote. We were skiing, and there was like my brother. He was applying to university, is 2 years older than me, and I was like filled a bit with anxiety, saying, "Oh, what I'm gonna do?" And my dad, we were skiing, mentioned me. Okay, but Camilla, try to play in another championship. Try to play in a different game. And at that time, I thought, okay, playing a different game. Let's look to the top US universities, so top universities in the world. And I think that the best title for this chapter is playing a different game.
Mhm. Well, I think like after your answer, I should think about my chapter in the life. That's
Yeah.
really great. Well, we have a lot of comments that you are an inspire, like you're inspiring people and motivate people. So let me read it for you. Like the comment from Basit, you have motivated me and your life story has given me a new path. Thank you so much. You see?
Thank
We
you.
appreciate your efforts. Yeah, and we have an interesting question from Zach. So he's asking, like, how do you overcome challenging times? Was it stressful for you to write all these supplemental essays, structure your activities, etc.?
Um, Really good question. I mean, I was stressful, yes. I mean, there is absolutely like at that time, especially while from like April last year, of course, think ideas, topics, essays were coming up. So a lot of things, a lot of stuff to do. And I would say yes, I was stressed, but at the same time was able to challenge my time thanks to horse riding. So thanks to your passion. So if you have any kind of hobby, continue to do that. Like don't lock into your room writing essays, writing papers all the day, because I think that thanks to horse riding, so thanks to my hobby, I was able like to breathe a bit and to relax, and I was able like to work harder later. And I took my time. I mean, I work also on Sunday, Saturday, always like study and so on. I was able to do, of course, to attend school as well. But at the same time, I was really helped by my tutor. I'm I would lie if I say that I wasn't stressed, that everything was easy, because it wasn't. But I would say that if you are able like to structure your time, to schedule your time, to dedicate 2 hours probably each day, or 1 hour each day, to your research, to not, I mean, your research, but at the same time finding the top colleges, answering really great, answering your essays, having of course tutors that help you, but also not, because as I mentioned, Crimson helped me for 5 universities, and instead I applied to other 15 alone, thanks to the comments, thanks to the suggestion that I kept from the lessons with Crimson, and I applied to those. For example, UPenn and Cornell weren't part of the Crimson package, and I applied alone, and it was a meeting instead. Also, I was a meeting the one with Crimson package, and I'm wait listening another 2. So I would say that thanks also with the packages 5, you will be able to understand how it works. And also was help thanks, I was able to look for the right websites that really help you to answer the essays in a really good way.
And another question, like, how did you connect with faculty in the universities you applied, and how did it inspire your decision to commit to Johns Hopkins?
So firstly, I was able to connect. Basically, I'm not really shy as a person. Well, usually yes, in relationship, but not with professors and so on. So I contact them via email. Basically, I went to the website of the schools, of the universities, and I was able like to see that I was able to write them emails, and sometimes they answer me, sometimes not. I mean, as Michael Jordan like said that he failed a lot of times, and after he won everything, and basically it wasn't a scientist, but he is still Michael Jordan. And so this is exactly what I did, and so I was able to contact them. I was really helped by my tutors, and at the same time I run this organization that's Academic Research Club. That is an organization whose goal is mainly to contact professors and to run some meetings with them, and also from all around the world, and all like kind of topics. And also I was helped by my counselor, basically, whose name is Mauro Ferrari. He is an Italian professor that after he moved to UC Berkeley, and he also taught at Rice University. He helped me opening the world of medicine. He helped me also understand the my real interest in science, at the same time helping me toward like this pathway. I got choosing Johns Hopkins. This is really hard. I mean, because my 4 top choices were, well, I'm still waiting because I have some wait lists in Caltech, Princeton, and Columbia, Northwestern, and U Chicago and Duke. But over that, from all the other universities, I decided. So my choices were between UPenn, Johns Hopkins, Rice, Berkeley, UCLA, which were like mainly and which were mainly like my, and also like if we were talking about UK, Imperial College, UCL, like there were several universities. I'm not going to mention all of you, but I ended up to Johns Hopkins because of thousands of research opportunities, especially because Indigo has helped me to understand that this is what I would like to do in my life. So to pursue an MD and PhD, especially a medical both working in the medical and in research field, especially in oncology, but we'll see later. I mean, of course, and I think that Johns Hopkins is the best choice. Especially according to thousands of research experiences that they have, cancer research, and especially because of the flexible program that they are able to offer to the to freshmen, but also to freshmen, but also to all the students that go to Johns Hopkins. Although it has been really hard to say no to all other universities. I mean, I didn't answer no, so I waited for the university to say the time as inspired to answer, because I didn't want to say no. But I really love the campus there. I really love the place. I looked for all like possible stables all around. Of course, when you go to university, consider also the place when you are going, and to follow and to continue to keep on with your passions. So I look to the stables, I look to the competitions for horse riding, because you will be able of course to go to university, but also you must also preserve like your mental health, and horse riding for me is looking for my mental health. So how I ended up choosing Johns Hopkins, basically because of the med research field. I got also admitted to the public health master later already in public health and in epidemiology and oncology. So this is why also I decided to apply there. But it's still unsure, as I mentioned, because there are really interesting wait lists, but we'll see later. And of course, it has been a really, really difficult choice.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I would say, like, to summarize your key to success, so you have to be very persistent. You don't have to be shy. So, you have to show yourself, and like, don't be scared to email faculty to grab any opportunity that you have related to your major and to your passion. And I think you have to have very good time management skills, to balance between all the school commitments and your ECLs. And of course, like research, it requires a lot of time, like a lot of reading, analyzing, and you have to have good English skills, right? This is one of the questions, like how many languages you speak. So yeah, I believe Italian, English,
Of course,
right?
Italian, English, and usually, as you probably have heard, I don't have the typical Italian accent. I usually speak in like an American slang sometimes, because when I was like younger, I always liked Hollywood films in American, so this is why I took this American slang. So yes, English, and sometimes French, but like Italian. And if you consider it, also I'm able to speak Latin and also Greek if you want, but
Mhm.
they aren't spoken. But that's it.
That's amazing. Well, we also have a question about like where we can find your book. So while I will be presenting some stuff about the research, like the research process, maybe you can find the link to your ebook, to your book on Amazon, and send it to the chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Hmm.
great. All
Absolutely.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, and we will also have a quick Q&A at the end. So stay tuned. I have some more questions to you.
Of course.
So, as I said, like in order to succeed in college applications, and like one of the main keys to success is your persistency, and of course the help from your team. And by team, I mean tutors, mentors, your family, of course. And that's what we actually do at Indigo Research. So at Indigo, we help you to complete your publishable research paper by matching you with a mentor from top school. So we partner with a lot of mentors from top US and UK schools, and we provide an premier academic research mentorship. So basically, if you would like to add the research experience to your college portfolio, we can help you to find a mentor who has relevant experience in your field and can not only help you to navigate you through the research process, but also to dive deep into the subject itself, to answer your questions, to help you find the relevant literature, and to help you analyze the data that you have. So we work with top mentors. On the slide, you can see just a couple of names. So let's say Dr. Tucker from Harvard or Dr. Vladimir Akhmetov from MIT, mentors from Stanford, from Oxford, UCLA, Princeton, NYU. So basically, all the mentors, like all the top schools that you are dreaming to apply to, we have the mentors from them. And once you apply to Indigo Research, we will be able to find the best match for you. As Camilla mentioned, like research is actually one of the secret weapons for your success, for your successful application to college universities. On this journey to applying to universities, you might have several challenges. So you have to balance between academics, between your passions, and between your extracurriculars, and research can be the key to actually this success. So with academic research, you can execute a project that combines all of three admissions pillars. And of course, when you think about research and how it can strengthen your college application, so basically research shows your intellectual curiosity. It can help you to differentiate yourself and your profile from other peers and show that you have a really deep passion in the topic that you choose, that you're actually ready to explore this field, you're ready to commit, and you're ready to come up with something new. So basically, maybe to have some maybe while analyzing your data and diving deep into your research, you will open something new, like you will be able to make some discoveries during this project, and it will definitely be a huge plus in your college application. Of course, during the research, you will work very close to your mentor, and after the program, it's possible to ask a mentor for a letter of recommendation that will eventually support your college application. So don't be shy during the program, and after all, you will be able to ask the mentor and include this letter of recommendation to your college application. As I mentioned, like we work with with mentors from top schools, and our students, they have been accepted to top universities, and our admissions rates are way higher than the standard acceptance rates all over the world. So let's say if you apply to Indigo and if you successfully complete a research paper, you have higher chances to apply to UPenn, Columbia, Oxford, Stanford, Harvard, you name it. So let's see how the actually research works and what are the main steps at this process. So first of all, you have to define your interests. You have to define your passion. So will it be biology or computer science or maybe even art or history? So basically, we will be able to help you to cover any passion that you have, and we'll be able to find a mentor that can support you on your journey. Once you find your interest, there are going to be some preliminary work. So together with the mentor, you will define the goals for your research project. It could be just the paper itself. It could be a publication in an academic journal, or let's say participation in some academic conferences. Once you define your goals, you will be given different materials to read, so different books or articles. And I should say that here you will spend quite a lot of time on reading. So that's why you have to have very good time management skills, because you will have to organize your time in a way that you're balancing between school commitments, maybe some volunteer work, and of course, during the research. At Indigo, you can work at your own pace. So for example, you can choose a very flexible schedule and you can meet with the mentor weekly or bi-weekly. It actually depends on your schedule and your school commitments. You can start anytime during the year. So let's say if you would like to start in a week or in a couple of months, it's possible, and we will be able to find a mentor who suits your needs. So after the reading and after the analyzing all the literature that you have read, you will write a research prospectus. So you will write an outline and you will start actually writing your paper, and you will be given a direct feedback from your mentor. So mentor will be supporting you on every step of this process. And let's say if you need and if you have any extra questions outside of the online classes that you have, you will be able to connect with your mentor and ask those questions. Of course, like during the program, you can choose what kind of research you would like to write. It could be a literature review or essay or a full-fledged research paper based on secondary data or primary data. So basically, you can analyze the data that already exists, or you can come up with your own data and do some interviews or conduct some research at lab. It basically depends on the topic that you choose and on the field that you choose. Once your research paper is complete, you can start preparing it for publication. And in this case, mentor will also be able to support you and suggest you some journals or conferences that are related to your field. And after that, you will publish your work or present at a conference. It might take some time. So usually once the paper is complete, you will spend a couple of months in order to publish your work. So you have to take this in mind that, let's say on the research itself, you might spend 4, 5, 6 months and then a couple of more months to actually publish your work. And after that, of course, you can leverage the research in your college application. So you can talk about research in your activities list, in the essays, and you can also attach the letter of recommendation from the mentor. So here are just some case studies. Of course, except for Camilla's, we have some other students who submitted their work for publication to prestigious academic journals. For example, this student, Nathan, he submitted his work to IJHSR, International Journal of High School Research, and he got accepted to Princeton University. Another student, Gia, she was accepted to Stanford, and she prepared a presentation on neuroscience and actually presented her work at a conference. Another student, Dalhan, he was accepted to Brown, and he published his work in the CRIJ, also very prestigious academic journal. And all of our programs are eligible for college credit. So we have a partnership with the University of California, Santa Barbara, and all students who finish their paper at Indigo Research and presented our academic conference will receive 2 transferable academic credits, college credits, that can be used at thousands of colleges across the United States, and you can also include them in the college transcript part of your Common App. So as I said, we have different programs. We have one-on-one and we have group programs. So in terms of one-on-one programs, we have Explorer, Researcher, Innovator. All of them differ in terms of number of hours that you will spend with the mentor and in terms of the final outcome that you will have. So basically, you can choose 10, 20, or 45 hours. Usually, if you want to complete a comprehensive research paper based on secondary or primary data, we would recommend you to choose either researcher or innovator packages. And if you feel like you don't have time during the year and you would like to sign up for something intensive and, you know, have very fixed schedule, and you feel like you have time only during summer, we really would like you to join our summer intensive course named IRIS. IRIS will start on July 8th, and it's a 6-week program where we have 8 amazing subjects with professors from top universities. Within IRIS, you will join small classes, up to 10 students in each class. This is 100% online program where you will have 36 hours of group sessions with professors from top universities. And at the end of the program, you will be able to complete the publishable research paper and include it in your college application. We have different subjects like computer science with Dr. Sack from Cornell, genetics with Dr. Shaye from Stanford, psychology with 2 professors, Dr. Hannah from Columbia and Dr. George Avila from UCLA, econ with Dr. Sehun Eljin from Columbia and Dr. Eva Bimpley from the University of Leeds, engineering with Dr. Steve Bullock from the University of Bristol, artificial intelligence, very trendy topic, and a lot of students are interested in this one, with Dr. Christian from Virginia Tech, global entrepreneurship with Dr. Michelana Jester from MIT, and our really amazing course, Advanced International Politics and History with Dr. Tucker from Harvard University. So basically, you will have 6 weeks plus a week to prepare for the course. During this 6 weeks, you will dive deep into the subject itself under the guidance of our professor. You will come up with a research topic, and don't be scared that so far you don't know the exact topic that you will be working on. Our mentors usually help students to define this topic. So let's say if you know that in general you're interested in computer science, that's okay. Our mentor will suggest you some topics and you will be able to choose the one that is mostly relevant for you and that you feel passionate about to research. After that, you will be given some literature to read and analyze. Then you will begin writing your work. And of course, you will be getting direct feedback from your mentor on each part of your research paper. And at the end, you will have a presentation. So you will present your work in front of mentor and your peers. And of course, you will have a comprehensive feedback on how you can improve your work and how you can prepare your work for publication. So if you feel like you are the really next Ivy League or Oxbridge admit, we will be happy to share our experience with you, and we will be very happy to help you find your way and find your passion and help you to boost your college application. So right now I will launch a poll, and if you want to sign up for a free research consultation, we'll be happy to schedule it for the next week. So let me actually launch a poll. You will see it on the screen right now. And while you're answering the poll, so let me check the chat box and the questions. All right, Camilla, are you here? I see that you sent a link to your book. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm answering some of the questions in the questions and answer part.
Yeah, while you're answering, I can answer another question, like what level of prior experience would you recommend having for the IRIS program? So basically, we are not looking for any prior research experience because all our programs, they are designed for students who are new to research. So it's not necessary to have a comprehensive research experience, and you can sign up for the program, even though if you don't have this research experience. All right, what other questions do we have? All right.
So talking about AP or IB that I see that are like the most like quotated questions. So as an international student, there aren't APs in Italy. So I haven't taken APs. So I'm registered for the APs in May. But finally, my parents, for my mental health, forced me not to take them because I counted that in the recent 2 years, I took 20 tests, more or less, including APs. But because I had to travel, so I went to Switzerland in order to take the ACT and also an AP. But basically, they do not exist here in Italy. So as an international student, so if you are in a country which APs do not exist as in Italy, basically my high school has already college level courses, so you need to underline this in your Common App, in your application. For example, my humanities course are already credit granted, and at the same time also Harvard Summer School, in which I took like biology and organic chemistry, and at the same time also it's really important to do internships and so on that will let you have some credits. At the same time, so I would say that APs are the most recognized. However, and for US students, I would say that all, for example, my classmates, all the friends I met at, for example, at Harvard during summer as US students, they all took them, like around 5, around 4. And now I know some of them, they have been admitted to not really some in really good universities, some in the middle ones. So it's not only matter of AP. So just this is important to underline. This is important to underline that it's not matter of AP. It's not matter only of the courses you've taken, but it's a matter, as I've shared before, the importance of being yourself always. So this is an answer like for all the AP's questions.
Thank you, Camilla. I have another question here. Is a consultation aimed towards students of a specific grade? So our Indigo programs are designed for students starting from 14 years old. So if you're age 14 to 19 years old, you can apply for this program and we'll be happy to see you at our research consultation. And how long is the research process going to last? So basically, as I said, we have different options. For example, during IRIS summer program, you will be able to complete the paper within 6 weeks. It's a very intensive program and you will have 2 online classes per week and overall 36 hours of online classes. However, if you want to have more flexible schedule and one-on-one mentorship, you can sign up either for 10, 20, or 45 hours program. And the minimum time that you will spend on this research is 3-4 months, and the maximum time is year, depending on the level of the research that you would like to complete. So basically, if this is a research based on primary data, of course, it will take about a year. But if it's a literature review or a research based on secondary data, it might take 4 or 5 months to complete. We have a question about the international students. So yes, IRIS program is for international students. Unfortunately, it's not free. And if you submit your, if you apply for research consultation or if you send us an email, I will send you all necessary information about the options for signing up. All right, what we have. What do you look for students when you're accepting them to your programs? That's a really good question. So first of all, we're looking for actually like shown passion for the subject. So let's say if you're interested in biology, so we will be looking for good grades in biology, in chemistry, and also we're looking for students who have various activities on their list. So let's say you already read some books related to biology or participated in some other courses. So basically any track record in the field that you're interested in is important, and also English level. So just because you will have to read a lot in English and you will have to write your research paper in English, so English is crucial for signing up for this program. All right. What other questions do we have here?
I would like to say something about the important international students and about IBS applications and so on. Just in the meantime, you read the other questions. So talk about, for example, talk about being international student, showing that also your courses are as much as like demanding as the APs that maybe like usually are the most important ones in US. Basically, you should send to you should ask to your professors and to your professors to send them to send in the Common App, because your professors will be able to access the Common App. If you send through the Common App, you will be able to send them to ask them for a reference letter, and after that your professor will need to upload your certificates, your grades, and so on. And it's vital, but it's extremely important to underline the topics of your courses. For example, I've spent hours writing each course and each topics I studied during my high school. So this is really important. So underline the matter, so on. And for example, I wrote that my courses that I took at school were similar and were exactly the same to the AP's one, because I was able to take the test later. And also I was supported by several by another also organization doing APs, and they add me also sharing also this to universities. So what I would say is to connect to your professor. At the same time, talk about inside the ECLs for international students. You can find a lot of ECLs online, but not only. Extracurriculars means mean everything, starting from summer school, from volunteering to writing papers to sports. For example, I'm a really competitive horse rider, actually the third, actually in a really good position in the national level. So it's really important also to, like, if you have any sports, if you have any art recognition and so on, Olympiads, also in the part of the honor. So in the honor part, you can find a lot of honor activity online as competitions, as prizes, so on. This is extremely also on Crimson High Indigo. They usually offer a lot of interesting as the SRC competition just few weeks before. They are really good opportunities to add in your honors part and also in your ECL. So what I would recommend for international students is always try to find them online, but also working helping your city. For example, I am in the Red Cross here in my city, so it's basically a volunteer activity. And at the same time, I'm in an Italian organization, anti-tumor, so anti-cancer. Basically, what I do is to help people who suffer of this disease, go into treatments, so on. So universities, as I mentioned, want to see you as a person, not only as a grade. So this is really important.
Yeah, thank you, Camilla, for adding on this question. We have another one, like, would you recommend taking ACs in a single area and deepen your interest, or taking different ACs about different fields? So I would recommend, like, try to have a very balanced portfolio and try to dive deeper into the one field. So for example, you're interested in computer science. So, okay, you can take some online courses, you can write a research paper, you can be the head of computer science club at your school. And for example, you can write a blog about computer science, or you can start a YouTube channel. So basically, the more activities you have in your portfolio related to this field, the better. I would not recommend to, like, split your time and attention and efforts through very different fields, because it will not be look as, very complete and comprehensive profile for the top schools. Camilla, maybe you have something to add here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for example, part of my ECLs were completely different. So, a lot of them show my passion in bio research and so on. But as I mentioned about the Benjamin Franklin program and so on, like one of my other ECLs was sport. The other one was helping students at school in ancient Greek and Latin or in math. So, I would suggest that 2 or 3 of your ECLs should focus on your area of interest in which you are going to apply. So it basically shows that you are already moving towards that journey, but at the same time you need really to expand, because they usually look for a person with several, like, in Italian we usually say, this is a way of speaking, with several corners, so with several also interests. So for example, I really love reading. I really love reading also about classics. And this was part also, as I mentioned, like helping students in my school in classics. But at the same time, my other ECLs just before was working 1 month I used in research lab. So the balance, as Alisa mentioned, is really important. So you need to show you as a person with several corners. Yes.
Great. Thank you so much, Camilla. So, so far we don't have any other questions. And thank you everyone for this lovely chat. I mean, I'm really glad that we had a lot of questions, and it was kind of a dialogue between us and the audience. Thank you so much, Camilla, for sharing your story. I'm really sure that it inspired a lot of participants today to start working on their profile and build something incredible. And hopefully, with your help and with our help, they will be admitted to top schools of their choice.
Course. I'm here, and Indigo is always here as Crimson. And absolutely, I would suggest this. I would suggest continue writing. I'm really interested also in the new program. So I'm always looking for new ways in order to learn more.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. I hope you will have a lovely evening. And yeah, see you at our future webinars. Bye-bye.